A lot of success here. I know you're coming off the suspension to be back, but to be back in Detroit for only the second time, what's it like walking through these halls as a visitor?
Yeah, did it once before. A lot of great memories here. You know, my time, the 5 years I was here, arguably the best 5 years, in the recent history for the Tigers, and to be a part of that run, it was awesome. We had such great teams, great players, and like I said, this is where I developed. Really came to my own here, and reflect upon it. Huge 5 years of my career.
When Justin decided to sign with the Mets this offseason, did you guys talk about any of that? What's the relationship been like with the two of you back together? I know he's been on rehab stuff so far lately, but what's it been like back with Justin?
Yeah, a lot of memories. The same thing. For me, I'm one of the luckiest pitchers in the game because I've gotten to pitch with great pitchers my whole career, and obviously he's one of them. And with the time we're in Detroit, now we're getting to do it again here with the Mets. Just picking each other's minds. He's learned a lot about himself and the game. From our time apart, and it's been fun to pick his mind to see what he's thinking and what he sees, and the kind of the adjustments he makes, and likewise. So it's comparing notes and trying to get each other better.
When you think back to your time in Detroit, what was that one moment that you're most proud of? Was it that bases loaded jam against the A's in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, that was a good one. It's always hard to narrow it down to one. But you can never get past winning as a team. Those moments when we win in the postseason, beating the A's, beating the Yankees. Those were just incredible moments as with a team when you're pouring champagne with everybody in a locker room after a series win. I mean, those are the moments you never forget.
Max, what is the frustration level of this thing has gotten dragged out via factors beyond your control, the rain, your suspension?
Yeah, nothing you can do about it. It's out of my control, so I can't get mad about it.
What was the toughest part of this almost 2 weeks?
It all sucked.
Max, how are you feeling just physically with the extra time off?
Good. I got my feel like I got my back in the right spot. Like I said, it was an ailment, not an injury, and try to strengthen up and get it going. Throwing live BP, throwing bullpens. Feel a lot better. Trying to do everything I can to get that right, and so that nip it in the bud and get behind it.
What recourse do you have as a player when you disagree with the substance ruling?
That what?
With the ruling, I mean, if you disagree with them, I mean, what recourse do you have?
You don't. That was the purpose, or what I was saying is, it wasn't in front of a neutral arbitrator.
What would be your approach to applying rosin and making sure you have a good feel on the ball?
Not going to go in the process because if you have a process, that's cheating. Use rosin sweat.
You feel like this rotation is whole again, just about?
Yeah, hopefully we get everybody back. And get it going. Because when the starting rotation goes and guys are tuning up innings, it saves innings on the bullpen, and then those guys start getting into roles. And when they get in the roles, they get comfortable. They start pitching better, so it all feeds itself. So much of the how the team performs, comes down to starting pitching. Obviously performance helps, but doing our job and pitching deep into ball games. Going out there. Going 6+ innings, 100 pitches, those are very important milestones to hit because it puts other guys in position to do their jobs even better. So, I really take it upon myself to do, that's make your posts and get deep into games. I mean, that's the job of a starting pitcher, and that's what I love to do. I love the challenge of that.
I know you had talked about you really wanted to be able to face Atlanta, but the way they lined up with you being here, is there maybe some sort of silver lining that you do get to come off and come back and pitch here?
I don't know. I'd rather face a division opponent. Those Braves are good. I get it. It's fun to face them. They're a challenge. I can beat them. They can beat me. Had good matchups with them over the years. So you won't always want to go out there and face your division foes. So. But at the same time, this is the major leagues. You can't overlook any team in the league. Those guys over there are going to game plan absolutely everything they got to try to beat me tomorrow. So you got to match that in type of intensity.
And Max, you called this the best 5 years of your life when you played in Detroit. When you kind of left, it was kind of the start of the end for the Tigers. Haven't been back to the playoffs in quite some time. Do you remember what kind of decision that was to leave? Like, was it grueling to leave Detroit, or just pretty much easy? They didn't give you the number you wanted, and you moved on.
No, it was definitely tough. You're here. You want things to work out, but sometimes the business situation doesn't work out in your favor. you know, that's just the way it worked. You know, don't need to rehash old stories about that. You know, it was a decision. Made my decision. You know, feel comfortable with it. Knew what I wanted to do, and you know, and it might end up having a great 7 years there in Washington. So, you know, you don't let the business affect you. You go out there and do your job, and that's what my job was.
If you won't rehash it, Tigers fans have since you've left, and with the state of this franchise. I mean, even they remodeled the whole clubhouse down there, and I don't know if you saw your picture as you got off the elevator. You mean a lot to this fan base. When you see Tigers hats on the road, and when you see fans here today, do you feel that love over the last few years?
It's definitely appreciated. You know, we go out there and compete to try to win the World Series. Don't get me wrong. Being in the clubhouse, that's the ultimate goal, and it's a hell of a feeling when you do it. But second, right behind that is the fan base that are behind you. You know, we go out there and the fans really give you an energy and an adrenaline when you go out there and compete. And playing here and making having those starts and it is fun to to be able to reflect upon and hear fans talk about that. It was really significant to them because it was significant to all of us. And for fans to still have those memories and cherish those moments means the world to me because those moments meant the world to myself and my family as well.
What's your favorite Cabrera
you
story?
mentioned coming into your own here. I guess when you reflect on your 5 years here, how do you feel like it may have changed you as a pitcher, allowed you to develop? Where did it mean your career?
Well, I mean, first it was the mentality here with Dombrowski and Jim Leland of letting starters start. I was a young arm, wasn't refined yet. And you know what? Early in my career, I struggled going third time through the order. But with Jim, he was no. You're going to pitch. We don't care. You're going to You go out there and do a job. You're pitching deep in the ball game. You're going to learn. And they put me in positions to fail. Not to make that bad, but you have to fail. You have to learn by failure. And a lot of times, facing all these teams. You get in division like the Cleveland Indians. There was a wow in there. I mean, but the Cleveland Indians, trying to face the Cleveland Indians over and over and over, all those left-hand hitters, like they made me better. Like I had to level up in order to get better from them. And I can only thank Leon and his staff for pushing me, and keep going. You didn't just pull me out of the game after 4 innings, 80 pitches because here was the third time through the lineup. No, I went out there and got pushed, and I developed because of that. And so, looking back on that, you don't see that attitude anymore. And that's something that's disappointing for me personally. Looking at the game, is that we're so quick to hook the starter and to be able to save him and not put him in that situation where, no, fail in that situation. You learn how to get better, and that's how you develop. And so, like I said, I felt like a huge component of why I was able to develop so well here.
Are you and Jim still in touch at all?
Yeah, we keep in touch every now and then.
Do you have a favorite Cabrera story, and are you looking forward to facing him?
Yeah, I'm going to face him a couple times now. I mean, there's so many Miggy stories. So many.
You can tell?
Well, I mean, even if you just stay on the field, I mean, like when Phil Hughes threw that sinker in the batter's box, it was in the batter's, like it was across the chalk line in the batter's box, and he sucked his hands in and hit a homer. Like I just remember thinking, like, what is going on? Like how, like who was he doing? Even some of Miggy's base running, his IQ with base running, he did some things on the bases that I had never even thought of. That the way he was looking at the game, he was just so far ahead of it. And the other story I always tell about Miggy is, he goes out and wins the Triple Crown in 2012. But what people don't realize is then in 2013 at the break, he had leveled up again. Like he was almost the most improved player after winning the Triple Crown. And at the break, was hitting 30 points higher than 360 with like 30 homers and 100 RBIs at the break. I just remember being like, never seeing somebody, be the MVP of the league and then level up. Like it was crazy to watch somebody be that good and then just get better. And I always took that to heart of watching that it does not matter where you're at within this game. There are no limits. You can always continue to go out there and get better. And what a perfect example in Miguel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max.
Yep.